EA has dropped the Hockey Ultimate Team trailer for NHL 23, and I couldn't be more excited. What's going on, guys? Today, I'm going to be going through the trailer with you. We're going to take some stops along the way. I'm going to explain everything there is to explain, but of course, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them down below. Now, I'm a Hut guy through and through, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us, so let's go ahead and get into the trailer. Now, guys, I will pause it along the way, so if you guys want to see the full trailer without any cuts or anything, link will be in the description for it. And of course, if you are new, please consider subscribing. The game drops in a couple days. I'm going to have all the series and news you can handle here on the channel. Let's get started.
Welcome to the final NHL 23 Deep Dive. Today is all about Hockey Ultimate Team,
Let's go.
Starting with the all-new Hut Rivals.
We wanted to address player feedback, putting a little bit more meaning into wins and rivals.
All right, so we got our win-based rewards here.
New set of win-based rewards.
All right, so what I seen there, win 5 games or 10 games total. So if you win 5 games in a row, it counts as winning 10 games in total. So that's good for people who won't be able to string along those wins together. Tier 3 goes 15 wins in a row or 30 total games throughout Rivals. So if you're somebody who's going to play all 50 games, you can earn yourself a lot of good rewards. Now, what I'm seeing for the rewards here looks like packs and coins, which is nice, but doesn't look like anything's guaranteed.
They can actually be earned either through wins.
Values
or
are
win
subject to
streaks,
change.
and then
So maybe if they're not guaranteeing players now, they could guarantee them in the future. I'm just saying, putting that out there. EA, please give us some guaranteed stuff.
when you do hit them, they're actually granted instantaneous to you. Rivals will not
Okay, cool. So rewards are granted instantly as well. So you don't have to wait till Wednesday, just like last season and the year before that. However, these rewards, so the win streaks, are granted immediately. You can open them at any time. So in Division 4 for Tier 1, winning 10 games or 5 in a row, you get a Mega Player Pack, a Premium Pack, and 10,000 coins on top of what you're already earning for Rivals. So this is actually pretty good. Now, I don't know what Tier 2 and Tier 3 are going to bring. They do not show it in the trailer. However, if it's going to be more of that, say Tier 2 is 25,000, Tier 3 is 50,000, that is huge for a weekly reward.
Have a combination of both instantaneous rewards as well as the regular weekly rewards. The higher division you move up, the better win-based rewards you will get.
Which makes sense. The higher division you're in, the better rewards are going to be. That always makes sense.
To Rivals this year is something we're calling game themes. We designed 10 different ways of playing the game.
All right, so Rivals is going to have 10 different modes inside of it. So each week is going to change. Every week is going to be different from the last one. Eventually, they will repeat, but 10 different ways to play Rivals this year, which is nice because, like, it got pretty stale pretty quickly.
There's going to be different things, whether it's, shorter period length, arcade speed settings, simulation speed settings, international ice, 3-on-3, kind of different variants within those, all of which will keep Rivals more interesting and bring some change throughout the year. You'll always know which one you're playing because you'll see it reflected on the ice surface. Team records for...
All right, so that's also new. On the bottom, it shows your division and your record in the next to your logo at the beginning of the game, which is super cool. Good to know if you're going to be playing an absolute lord, and if it's going to be a sweat fest, you're going to have to get your game on. Or if you're playing somebody who's maybe not nearly as good, you can kind of relax on them and not put up 45 goals in a single game. Let's be real, you're going to do that anyways.
Or you and your opponent will show up before the face-off. This is just meant to give you a little bit of extra context on the challenge you're about to face. We're also reducing the number of divisions this year from 10 to 6 and rebalancing the rewards a little bit. Here's the first. They
cut that pretty quickly there. They're rebalancing the rewards for Rivals. Cool. And they're cutting the divisions from 10 down to 6. I'm actually going to rewind it just a little bit. You can see it here. So if the divisions are down to 6, that should help with matchmaking as well. If you're in Division 6, you're likely only going to play people in Division 6 and so on and so forth. However, later in the trailer, they do show something off that's really cool to do with matchmaking, and it has nothing to do with the crossplay, which is also going to really help matchmaking.
Divisions this year from 10 to 6 and rebalancing the rewards a little bit. Here's the first 4 weeks.
All right, so your first 4 weeks of Rivals have been revealed. Week 1 is Rivals Burst, so that means it's going to be shorter periods for Rivals. 2-minute periods. Games get over really quickly. Week 2 is going to be arcade. So basically, you're going to be flying on the ice and hits are going to be way bigger. It's arcade mode pretty much. 3v3, self-explanatory. Instead of 5v5, you'll be playing 3v3 on the ice for an entire game. And last but not least, classic 5v5. That's the Rivals we all know and hate, not love.
The Rivals game themes for everyone. Should be a lot of fun and a nice change of pace for Rivals.
It will be a nice change of pace, I can say that much.
We're moving the Hut Champs schedule forward a bit.
Okay, there you go.
Wednesday to Sunday. Hut Champions will always stay your classic 5v5 hockey with no variations.
So there you go, 5v5 no matter what in Hut Champs, and it's going to run from Wednesdays to Sundays, an additional day from last year to let you get those extra 20 games done per week. That's a lot of games. Let's be real, that's a lot of games, but if you have an extra day, it might be a little bit easier for you to get them done.
At least for this year. We do want to improve matchmaking.
Here's what I'm talking about.
There's a new additional option to restrict your search based.
You can restrict your search from 50 to 250 in terms of skill rating. So if you're in Division 6 and you only want to play people in Division 6, you put it at 50 skill rating and you will not match anyone higher. But if you're in, say, Division 4 and you think you should be in a higher division, you can open it up, start playing people in Division 3, and if you start winning those games, you move up a little bit quicker by winning more games. The people with higher skill rating than you always offer more skill points back for rivals. So if you have 1,500 points and you beat somebody with 1,600 points, you're going to get a lot of points for that victory.
Based on skill level, once cross-platform matchmaking comes in, that's just going to open up more people and everyone's going to be able to find a better match to their skill level. Every year we get a number of new icons through our...
All right, so some new alumni, and it skips by very quickly there, but we have Dan Boyle. Now, these guys were already in the game. However, they now have power-up icons. So Dan Boyle, Rick Nash,
NHL Alumni Association,
John LeClaire.
We've also added in some new power-up icon items. Players like Daniel Sedin and Henrik Sedin are getting power-up icons this year, along with new variants of, say, Wayne Gretzky, right? So now...
So there we go, right there. We have a new animation for the icons. I don't know how much is different, but that is pretty cool. It comes out gold. You can see Wayne Gretzky. And what's really cool is he's about to talk about it here, so I won't talk too much, but there will be different variants for icons.
Instead of just an LA Kings Wayne Gretzky, we're going to have an Edmonton Oilers one, as well as one of him on the New York Rangers with different attributes and abilities.
That's so cool. There's also going to be one on the LA Kings. So Gretzky on the Rangers, the Kings, and the Oilers. They're all going to represent different times in his career, so stats will be different and abilities will be different as well. Very cool, very needed. It's adding a little bit more variety to the game, so I think that's pretty awesome.
That reflect how they played at different points in their careers. One new big thing coming into HUT this year is IIHF women's hockey integration. We brought women into NHL 22 with the IIHF license. With HUT, it was a great opportunity in NHL 23 to bring a new element into team building. It's essentially a whole new league added to the game with new players that are going to create new and interesting team builds. We're also getting with the IIHF license.
Now I'm going to pause it here. If you were to add up all these players, there's over 160 women being added to HUT. 160. Some of them are very low rated. Naturally, the teams that you would expect to be low rated are. And then some of them are going to go into the high 80s. I believe Poulin is 87 overall. Now, a reminder here that they are matched up against their peers. It's not fair to compare them to NHL players. They do have the same rating system. However, they are matched against their peers. One way I want to look at this, and one way I advise everyone to look at this, because there seems to be a lot of people upset with this, think of them as World Junior cards, right? In the World Junior cards, they come out in December, and they're usually higher rated than the majority of NHL players, and nobody gets upset by that point. Consider these cards to be the same. They're not going to get prime times or team of the weeks. They're higher rated, but they're going to stay these ratings unless they get an event card. I think that's fair to look at them like that. They're not getting prime times or team of the weeks every single week. It's just not going to happen. With 160 different cards, they had to have variance on the overalls. You can't put all of Team Canada in the 60s with, say, someone like Team Japan. That's just not going to make any sense.
Since it's the international teams, it's the best of the best as far as women's hockey. You're going to see a lot of really strong HUT items and strongly rated
Actually,
women.
It looks like a really good card. Yeah, she's 5'6". Absolutely, she's 5'6", but that looks like a really good card. 88 faceoffs, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, a good shot, good hands. This could be a really good card at launch.
First off, there's just going to be more power-up icons. We've brought more of our NHL alumni from our great partnership into the power-up icons, so you're going to see lots of new exciting players in the program this year. Secondly, we're also adding new sets. Now you're going to be able to acquire icons with gold players.
Okay, so that's actually really interesting. So if you trade in 482 overall icons, you're going to get a guaranteed 83 overall icon. You then trade in 4 of the 83 icons for a guaranteed 84, and so on and so forth, all the way up to Gretzky or Lemieux.
With trading in base icons, and we've got some sets that let you re-roll them as well as upgrade them all the way up to potentially Gretzky or Lemieux. One thing that's been popular the last couple of years has been team building items. This year, the program is bigger now. We're going to have a team builder for every team, as well as an 89 OVR that you can trade those into right at launch. This year, to start out at launch, we're going to have Teppo Numminen, Olli Jokinen, Fedor Tutin, Larry Murphy, Milan Hayduk, Keith Tkachuk, Owen Olin, and Steve Duchesne.
So 8 different 89 overall cards are in the game immediately at launch that you can get by doing team building. This is why I say to hang on to your cards. If you can make all these cards, your team is going to be absolutely insane right away. Now, obviously, out of here, we haven't seen their overalls, we haven't seen those cards, but of course, I'm going to want that Larry Murphy. And Steve Duchesne, he played for the Wings too, but that Larry Murphy, one of my favorite players of all time, I'm going to have to get my hands on him. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to trade in players from every team, 74 and up, and then 80 and up. There's going to be a mixture of those for each team. You trade them in, you get a guaranteed 84 overall player. Once you get enough from each division, you trade them in for the 89s.
The first event coming to NHL 23 is called Hot Spotlight. We always like to make a point with
look at that card. Guys, just look at the card art. If there's one thing you can say about NHL is that their card art is phenomenal. Card art, it might be the only thing they're good at, but it is so damn good.
And to have something new.
We got Mccann Keller here, 5'11". Yeah, we have a 5'11" women's left-handed defenseman. Could be pretty damn good. See, they're not all 5'5", like everyone was complaining about. Looks like a pretty good card. Slap shot and wrist shot power kind of low, but other than that, card looks pretty damn decent.
Concept, a new theme.
We got Jared McCann here. Looks like a very good card right out the gate. Can't wait to be able to share this with you. Just let me get through it. Hold on. So we got Jared McCann. Just let it play through.
This year, it's really about celebrating all the big stories from the off season and then some of the stories of the upcoming season. The first event.
There it is. Do you see it? Do you see it? Ah! A free 88 overall to start the year just by completing the objectives. And apparently, a little inside information, this could be a common thing. I hope so. They did this a little bit last year. I want to see this more often. And they're doing it for the first event of the year here. This is going to be great. A free 88 to start the year. All you have to do is these objectives. And I actually have a little bit of an easier list to look at, so I'll put that up here. So you complete these objectives and you get the 88 overall card. You could probably get that done in the first few weeks of the game, honestly. This is huge for team building in general, honestly.
And we're going to give you the opportunity to earn one of the master items through completing objectives. Hopefully some of the names that people will be excited about are like Alex DeBrincat, who was traded to the Ottawa Senators in the offseason. Other stories like Chris Letang, who
could be really good.
Re-upped with Pittsburgh Penguins and finished his career there now. Like the big Johnny Gaudreau signing in Columbus. Hopefully someone on there, or someone in the larger list will be someone you're excited to add to your team. We continue to...
Now, they don't say anything about it, but we do have a new synergy, and it's going to be Dangle City. +3 to deking, to the discipline, to the hand-eye, and to the slap shot accuracy. And majority of these synergies do have a new balance. So you guys are going to want to look through these. They've changed them all. We're going to go through them later in another video, but there is a lot of changes, but we do have a new synergy with Dangle City.
We want to be really conscious about the speed progression especially. We've rebalanced some of the synergies this year to make sure that there's good attractiveness for all of them and you're not kind of forced to go after one just because it has speed. We're also going to have half speed acceleration increase as cards upgrade. We also noticed a lot of centermen were having low face-off ratings and making them less effective at being a centerman despite that being their primary position. So this year we're actually introducing a minimum face-off rating for centermen.
No, that is absolutely awesome because there's a lot of times where you would get a center and you can't use them at center. This is going to help that. This is absolutely awesome.
And then for goalies, rather than caps on taller goalies, shorter goalies will actually have boosted glove high speed and agility this year. One more thing to help with progression this year is some new exchange sets that are going to let you trade 82s into 83s and upwards as well. We're really excited about.
So there you go. Look at that. And it looks like it's going to go even further, but trade in 4 83s for a guaranteed 84, and it's going to move on from there. So probably 3 84s for an 85, 3 85s for an 86, 3 86s for an 87 if you go all the way across. That could be absolutely huge for team building.
Into 83s and upwards as well. We're really excited about everything coming to Hut this year. Rivals themes, win rewards and Rivals, women in Hut, new power-up icon builds, some progression fixes, some great stuff coming in live service. So really excited to hear everyone's feedback throughout the year. And we hope you have a great year in Hut.
I do too. No, guys, I'm just going to put some images on the screen. EA gave me permission to show some of this stuff off, so very thankful for that, by the way. Thank you, EA. Now, some of these modes have penalties, offsides, and icings off. That's going to be your arcade mode, so there's a few of them. That's going to be very interesting. International Ice is going to be happening in here as well, 5v5 and 3v3. Lots of different ways to play Rivals this year. Now, out of here, there's definitely going to be some hard ones, like get 16 shutouts, complete 109 games. It's going to take some time to get this done. I would say I'd be able to get this done. Realistically, I'll be done this in probably 3 weeks. 3 weeks on my main account. So in 3 weeks, I'll have everything done here. I'll have my choice pack. And in 3 weeks, we'll probably be starting another event. So in 3 weeks, it's quite a bit. But, I mean, it's worth it for a free 88. just by playing the game. These are things you're going to do anyways by playing the game. One more thing, this is the new rival screen, so you're going to see this when you're loading into a game from now on, and it's going to give you all of the rule sets, so you don't have to guess if maybe you don't remember what each one means. It's going to give it to you when you load into a game. So the Rivals Burst, you can see it says play now. It's on competitive game style. The periods are 2 minutes, it's 5v5, icings and offsides are on. And guys, in my next video, I'm going to give a rundown on all 10 of the first MSPs of NHL 23 and tell you which ones I think you should take. Anyways, that's going to do it for me here for this video. I had a great time watching this trailer. Got me really excited for Hut, but let me know what you think down below. Are you excited for Hut? Is there anything in the trailer you don't understand or you have any questions? Is there anything you really don't like about the trailer? Please let me know so I can send some feedback into EA and we can get some things changed or whatever. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you for some NHL 23 in less than 4 days. Let's go. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay frosty.